I am going to discuss the equipotential surfaces in the chapter name electric field potential. So if you like it, share it please, comment it and also subscribe it. And to understand, you can pause the video wherever you feel. So I'm going to start equipotential surfaces. Any surface which has same electrostatic potential at every point is called an equipotential surface. The equipotential surfaces can be drawn through any region in which there is electric field. If all the points at same potential in the electric field are joined, an equipotential surface is obtained. Since all points of an equipotential surface are at same potential, no work is done in moving a test charge between any 2 points on the equipotential surface. Thus, if E, here E is capital, is electric field at a point on the equipotential surface, and the test charge Q0, Q is small, is moving through the displacement dl, L is small. This dl and E are in the vector, it has got a sign on the surface. Then Q0 multiplied by E equals into dl equals to 0, or E into dl equals to 0. That is E is perpendicular to dl. Since dl is along the equipotential surface electric field, E must be perpendicular to it. In other words, electric lines of force are always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. Now, what are the properties of equipotential surface? Let us know the properties of equipotential surfaces. The following properties are associated with the equipotential surface. Number 1, no work is done in moving a test charge over an equipotential surface. Let A and B be 2 points on an equipotential surface. Here I am giving you a figure first of all, then I will give you the explanation of this figure. If a positive test charge Q0 is moved from point A to B, then work done in moving the test charge is related to electrostatic potential difference between the 2 points as Vv minus Va. Here V is capital, both Vv minus Va equals to Wab by Q0. Since the 2 points A and B are on the same equipotential surface, so Vv minus Va equals to 0. Therefore, the work done between A and B by Q0 equals to 0, or work done AB equals to 0. Hence, no work is done in moving a test charge between 2 points on an equipotential surface. Now, number 2, the electric field is always at right angles to the equipotential surface. Since work done in moving a test charge between 2 points on an equipotential surface is 0, the displacement of the test charge and the forces applied on it must be perpendicular to each other. Since displacement is along the equipotential surface and force on test charge is Q0 E, the electric field E must be at right angles to the equipotential surface. Now, number 3, the equipotential surface helps to distinguish regions of strong field from those of weak field. We know that E equals to minus dV upon dr, or dr, r is here small, equals to minus dV upon E. For same change value of dV, that is dV equals to constant, we have dr is inversely proportional to 1 by E. That is, the spacing between the equipotential surface will be lesser in the regions where the electric field is stronger and vice versa. Therefore, the equipotential surfaces are closer together where the electric field is stronger, and farther apart where the field is weaker. Now number 4, the equipotential surfaces tells the direction of the electric field. Again, E equals to minus dV upon dr. The negative sign tells that electric field is directed in the direction decrease of electric potential with distance. Therefore, direction of electric field is from the equipotential surface which are closer to each other to those which are more and more away from each other, provided such surfaces having been drawn for same change in value of dV. Now number 5. No two equipotential surfaces can intersect each other. In case two equipotential surfaces intersect each other, then at the point of intersection there will be two values of electric potential. As it is not possible, the two equipotential surfaces cannot intersect each other. Now, how we will draw the equipotential surface? We will know in this column. To draw equipotential surfaces, the various properties of equipotential surface discussed in the last sections of video can be used to draw and study the equipotential surfaces in different situations. Let us now study the equipotential surfaces in the following cases. Number 1. For a uniform electric field. In a uniform electric field, the strength and direction of the field is same at every point inside it. A uniform electric field is represented by a set of parallel arrows. For a uniform electric field, in bracket E equals to constant, we have dV upon dr equals to constant, or dV is proportional to dr. R is small, V is capital. Therefore, in uniform electric field, equipotential surface differing by same amount of potential difference will be equidistant from each other. Since electric field is perpendicular to the equipotential surface, such surfaces will be a self of parallel planes. I am giving a figure to understand. This figure shows equipotential surfaces 1, 2 and 3 at potential V1, V2 and V3 respectively. Since electric field is in the direction of decrease of potential, V1 is greater than V2, V2 is greater than V3. Further, as the equipotential surfaces are equidistant from each other, V1 minus V2 is equal to V2 minus V3. Number 2. For an isolated point charge. The electric field due to an isolated point charge is radial in nature and varies inversely as the square of the distance from the charge. The potential at all the points equidistant from the charge is same. All such points lie on the surface of a spherical shell, such that the charge lies at its center. Therefore, for a point charge, equipotential surfaces will be a series of concentric spherical shells with the change at the center. Since for the same change, dV is potential, dr is inversely proportional to 1 by E. The separation dr between the equipotential surfaces will go on increasing with the decrease of electric field. Now I am giving figure to understand. Figure shows equipotential surfaces 1, 2 and 3 due to an isolated positive charge. The potential of each of the three surfaces is different, but it has the same value for all points on the surface. As the separation between the surfaces 2 and 3 is more than that between 1 and 2. It follows that electric field is stronger at points near the charge and weaker at points away from it. The electric lines of force are perpendicular to equipotential surfaces and point radially outwards. Now number 3, for a system of 2-point charge. There are two figures which represent the equipotential surfaces and electric lines of force for two equal positive charges and a pair of equal and opposite charges respectively. dotted lines represent electric lines of force. The thick circles around the charges represent equipotential surfaces due to individual charges. In the two cases, the equipotential surfaces due to the two charges are obtained by adding potential at a point due to two charges algebraically. They have been represented by thick curves or lines. Now, electric potential energy of a system of charges. The electrostatic potential energy of a system of point charges is defined as the work required to be done to bring the charges constituting the system to their respective location from infinity. We first obtain expression for electrostatic potential energy of a system of 2-point charges, then for a system of 3-point charges, and finally we shall generalize the result for a system of n-point charges. Now A, small a under bracket, first case, potential energy of a system of 2-point charges. Consider the point charges Q1 and Q2 lying at points A and B, whose location are small r1 and small r2. These are in vector respectively. To calculate the electric potential, so first of all I will give you figure, it will be much better to explain me. Calculate the electric potential energy of the two charges. Remove the two charges to positions such that they are infinite distance from each other. First of all, bring the charge Q1 from infinity to its original position A. For this, no work is required. It is because where charge Q1 is removed, no electrostatic force due to any other charge opposes it. Now move charge Q2 to its original position B. When charge Q2 is moved, the electric field due to the charge Q1 lying at point A opposes it. Hence work has to be done. The work done in moving charge Q2 from infinity to point B in the electric field of charge Q1 is given by W equals to W capital here, electric potential due to charge Q1 at B into Q2, which is equals to, in bracket, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught multiplied by Q1 by AB, then bracket close, multiplied by Q2. Now since AB equals to mod R1 minus R2, we have W equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by mod R1 minus R2. The work done in breaking the two charges to their respective position is stored as the potential energy of the configuration of two charges, that is U equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught multiplied by Q1 Q2 by mod R1 minus R2. This is equation number 34. If distance mod R1 minus R2 is denoted as R12, then U equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12. This is equation number 35. Now the equation 34 and 35 gives electric potential energy of a system of 2-point charges. Now B, the case B, here the potential energy of a system of 3-point charges. Consider that 3-point charges Q1, Q2 and Q3 are lying at location R1, R2 and R3 respectively. Let us find the electric potential energy of the system of the three charges. Now first of all remove all the three charges to infinite distance from each other and then move the charge Q1 to the location R1. For this no work has to be done. Now number 2. Now move the charge Q2 from infinity to its location R2. The work has to be done for moving charge Q2 in the electric field produced by charge Q1 in bracket or due to electric potential of charge Q1 bracket closed at the location R2. The work done for moving the charge Q2 from infinity to location R2 when charge Q1 is present at R1 is given by W12 equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by mod R1 minus R2. Now number 3. Now move charge Q3 from infinity to its location R3. The work say W13 has to be done for moving charge Q3 in the electric field of charge Q1, and work say W23 has to be done for moving it in the electric field of charge Q2. The values of W13 and W3 are given by W13 equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught multiplied by Q1 by Q1 Q3 by mod R1 minus R3, and W23 equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 Q3 by mod R2 minus R3. Therefore, total work done in order to move all the three charges from infinity to their original locations, and hence the electric potential energy of the system of the 3-point charges is given by U equals to W12 plus W13 plus W23. This W12, W13, W23, what I am saying, these are underneath W. Now, or U equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught multiplied by Q1 Q2 by mod R1 minus R2 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 by mod R1 minus R3 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 Q3 by mod R2 minus R3, or U equals to, we will put as a common as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and in bracket Q1 Q2 by mod R1 minus R2 plus Q1 Q3 by mod R1 minus R3 plus Q2 Q3 by R2 minus R3. This is equation number 36. The result 36 can also be expressed as in summation from as U equals to half in bracket 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. We will keep as a common from summation. Now summation will be from f equals to 1 to 3. So here f is not equals to f is not I, load readers I. Now here again f equals to 1 to 3 summation sign. No, sorry, I equals to 1 to in the summation sign, I equals to 1 is in the lower limit and 3 is in the upper limit, and Q1 Q2 by mod R1 minus mod Ri minus Rj, bracket close. The factor half has been included for the reason that when potential energy of the three charges is expressed in summation form, each term gets counted twice. For example, in equation 37, a term is obtained for I equals to 1 and j equals to 2. Then the same term comes in again for I equals to 2 and j equals to 1. We denote the distance mod R1 minus R2, R1 minus R3 and R2 minus R3 as R12, R13 and R23. So U equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. In bracket we will put Q1 Q2 by R12 plus Q1 Q3 by R13 plus Q2 Q3 by R23. The bracket is now closed. This is equation number 38. The result 38 can also be expressed in summation form as U equals to half. In bracket we will put 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught common, and here j equals to 1 in summation sign, then j equals to 1 is in the lower limit and 3 is in the upper limit, and j is not equals to I. Then we will again put I equals to 1 in the lower limit and 3 in the upper limit, and Qj by Rij. Now see potential energy of a system of n-point charges. The expression obtained for the potential energy of a system of 3-point charges can easily generalize to a system of n-point charges. The potential energy of a system of n-point charges Q1, Q2, Q3 and so on till Qn present at location R1, R2, R3 and so on Rn respectively is given by u equals to half in bracket 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught common, and again a summation sign. Here j equals to 1 in the lower limit and in the upper limit, and also we know j is not equals to I. Then again we will put a summation sign. Here I equals to 1 in the lower limit and n is the upper limit, and qj by r1 minus rj in the mod sign. If we write the distance mod ri minus rj as rij, the wave equation may be expressed as u equals to half in bracket 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. The summation sign is here. J equals to 1 in the lower limit and n is in the upper limit, and we know j is not equals to I. Again we will put a summation sign. Here I equals to 1 in the lower limit and n is in the upper limit. Now qj by mod ri minus rj, and bracket is closed. If we write the distance mod ri minus rj as rij, the wave equation may be expressed as u equals to half in bracket closed 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here and a summation sign, j equals to 1 to n, that means j is in the lower limit and n is to upper limit, and we know j is not equals to I. So again we will put a summation sign. I equals to 1 in the lower limit and n is in the upper one. qi into qj by rij, bracket is closed. This is number 41 equation. Now there is a problem related to this concept. Find the electrostatic potential energy of the configuration of 4 charges plus q, minus q, plus q and minus q placed at the 4 corners A, B, C, D of a square of side r, small r. Solution. Suppose that charges qa, qb, qc and qd are placed at the 4 corners A, B, C and D of a square of each side, small r. Here qa equals to plus q, qb equals to minus q, qc equals to plus q and qd equals to minus q. U equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into, we are putting in bracket qa qb by ab plus qa qc by ac plus qa qd by ad plus qb qc by bc plus qb qd by bd plus qc qd by cd, and then we will close the bracket. Now ab equals to bc equals to cd equals to ad equals to r, and ac equals to bd equals to root 2r. See, here are the sides of the square, and here the AC and BD are the diagonals. So therefore u equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and in bracket we will put minus q square by r plus q square by root 2r minus q square by r minus q square by r plus q square by root 2r minus q square by r, and then bracket close. And ultimately by cancelling we get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square in bracket root 2 minus 4 by r. Now the last is potential energy of an electric dipole when placed in uniform electric field. Suppose that an electric dipole having dipole moment small p is placed along a directions making an angle theta with the direction of an externally uniform electric field capital E. The torque acting on the dipole is given by tau equals to P E sin theta. If the dipole is rotated through an infinitesimally small angle d theta against the torque acting on it, then small work done dw equals to tau d theta equals to P E sin theta d theta. Therefore, work done in rotating the dipole from its orientation making an angle theta 1 with the direction of electric field to theta 2 is given by W equals to, integral sign is that theta 1 is in the lower limit, theta 2 is in the upper limit, P E sin theta d theta. equals to PE mod, we will put minus cos theta, and in the mod after closing it, theta 1 on the lower limit and theta 2 on the upper limit, or W equals to PE, in bracket we will put cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. This work done is stored in the dipole in the form of its potential energy. Therefore, when an electric dipole is rotated inside the electric field, potential energy is stored in the electric dipole, and it is given by U equals to PE, in bracket we will put cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. This is equation number 42. Let us assume that dipole is initially oriented perpendicular to the electric field and is then brought to the orientation making an angle theta with the field direction. Then potential energy of the dipole when it makes angle theta with the direction of the electric field can be obtained from the equation 42 by setting theta 1 equals to 90 degree and theta 2 equals to theta. Therefore, U equals to PE, in bracket we will put cos 90 degree minus cos theta, or U equals to minus PE cos theta, which is equation number 43. Now in vector form, in vector notation we will write U equals to minus PE, which is equation number 44. Now the problem related to this topic: an electric dipole of length 2 cm is placed with its axis making an angle of 30 degree to a uniform electric field of 10 to the power 5 Newton per Coulomb. If it experiences a torque of 10√3 Newton meter, calculate the magnitude of charge on the dipole, and number 2, potential energy of the dipole. Here we have to find two things. So first we will find the torque. Torque equals to PE sin theta, or no, first of all we have to find the magnitude of the charge of the dipole. So we will insert here in this formula tau equals to PE sin theta, or P equals to tau by E sin theta equals to 10√3 by 10 to the power 5 sin 30 degree equals to 2√3 into 10 to the power minus 4 Coulomb meter. Now Q equals to P by 2A equals to 2√3 into 10 to the power minus 4 by 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 equals to √3 into 10 to the power minus 2 Coulomb. Now number 2, U equals to minus V E cos theta equals to minus 2√3 into 10 to the power minus 4 into 10 to the power 5 cos 30 degree equals to minus 30 joules. My request is that view it all, my videos till last. Then you will be understanding more clearly, you will liking it, and if there is anything good or something to be improved, you can comment it, and if it is very good, you can share to your friends and those who are need to know these all topics. And also, if required, you can subscribe for this video. I will be very much thankful to you all.